My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. Today I want to talk a little bit about offenses against the family, and these are found in the Texas Penal Code. The Texas Penal Code can be found online. Go to Google or your search engine and type in Texas Penal Code, and you can pull it up. Now, the Texas Penal Code in Title 6 says that we have offenses against the families. In Chapter 25, it likewise talks about offenses against the family. So this is the area I'm going to talk about. In particular, I'm going to be focusing on one specific aspect, but just to give you some idea of what's inside the Texas Penal Code in offenses against the family, what's being covered: bigamy. Bigamy is considered an offense against the family, and that is also a third-degree felony, which you can be in prison for between 2 and 10 years and have a $10,000 fine. There's prohibited sexual conduct. So if you're having, incest or something like that, there's a whole list of definitions down here. This is considered a crime against the family. This too is a third-degree felony, punishable by 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. There are many other things, enticing a child and all stuff like that, but the issue I want to focus on right now, it's in 2503. After bigamy, and then after the prohibited sexual activities or conduct between certain people, 2503 is this: interference with child custody. And it reads like this: a person commits an offense if the person takes or retains a child younger than 18 years of age when, and then it starts to list when this takes place, when this is an offense. And the punishment for this is a state jail felony. It is not a civil matter, like many people have been told. Well, this is just a civil issue. No, it is a criminal issue. It is a state jail felony. And a state jail felony, what that means is that you can be punished by 6 months, 180 days, up to 2 years in custody. In addition to that, you can be fined up to $10,000. So that's what I'm going to be discussing, but I'm also going to be discussing it in the terms of what we did last night. So I have a friend of mine who lives in Mineral Wells. His name is Brendan Johnson, and his ex-wife, Reagan Johnson, has been keeping his kids from him for no reason whatsoever for a while. Brendan and I are friends. I've been watching some of the videos that he's been posting from Mineral Wells. Mineral Wells is a couple of hours away from where I lived, but I decided yesterday, because there was going to be an exchange, I would go out there and I would see in person what's taking place. And in fact, I also thought that perhaps Reagan, I think her name is Wallace, Reagan Wallace Johnson, or Reagan Wallace, or whatever her name is right now, maybe she did not realize the gravity of what she was doing. So I did print off the Texas Penal Code 2503, the interference with child custody. I had a couple of places highlighted in here, including that what it is, it's a state jail felony. That is the punishment for it. And I also found on another site here that a state jail felony is punishable by 180 days to 2 years in state jail and a fine up to $10,000. So I went out there and I went inside. She works at a restaurant or something called the Bistro in Mineral Wells, and I went in there and I wanted to see her. I did not know what to expect. I went to the back patio where they were having live music. Enjoyed it. There were 3 people playing, 2 from the Army, 1 from the Air Force, a very small band, or very small group, and I enjoyed just listening to them. It was a nice, comfortable atmosphere. I ordered myself a Coke, which I found out had free refills all night, and I was just enjoying my time there. Well, the waitress came over on the refill, and I asked her if Reagan Johnson was there, and if she could have her come to the table. So she did do this, and what I find interesting is this: when Reagan Johnson came over to the table, the first question that she asked, are you a friend of Brandon's? Has Brandon sent you in here? Well, I was going in there trying to be a little bit of a mediator. I want to give everybody every possible chance to say, you know what, maybe I didn't realize how important this thing is. Maybe I've been wrong in this. The idea is that Brandon and his children can be reunited back together without her intentionally and needlessly interfering with this child custody arrangement. So here she is working. She's working, and the live band was going until at least 10 o'clock, and then she'd have to clean up and so on. There's no reason Brandon could not be enjoying the time with his children. And Brandon's been put in this situation for a couple of reasons. Number one, he had an attorney who forgot to give him the right of first refusal during a divorce proceeding, a divorce that she initiated. And but the attorney conveniently perhaps forgot to put that in there so that Brandon would keep fighting and have to spend more money and maybe re-employ his or her services once again. But here, Brandon is living within 2 miles of his children, wants to be an active father, loves his children. We've talked about this repeatedly. And the state of Texas says, you know, well, we need to make fathers better. Well, the state of Texas is not helping him, who is already a good father, just be a father. The state of Texas often mandates fatherlessness. When you look at the standard possession order, what they call to be in the best interest of the child, what it does, it makes one parent a visitor in that child's life. And the reason in part that this is done is so that the state can collect child support. Because the state will use this excuse to say, well, he's not with the children, or she, because it happens to both men and women, they don't have the child the majority of the time. So they need to pay money to help even things out. What the state does not disclose to you is that a judge, when he makes a ruling or she makes a ruling, must rule in such a manner as to maximize Title 4D funds to the states, because the states get reimbursement from the federal government. And this is in the Texas Family Code 201.107C. This is the way the judge must order. And anyway, so here Brandon is down to wanting to be a father. He's mandated to being an absentee father by the state. He is mandated to being a visiting father by the state through its state actor, the courts, and the Texas Family Code. He is made to be a visiting parent. And Reagan Johnson, who, by the way, sits on the city council of Mineral Wells and is probably going to be the next mayor of Mineral Wells because nobody's running against her, she is intentionally and willfully keeping the children away from him. She's been brainwashing them. She took them when he had possession of them this summertime. And I don't even like to use the term possession, because a parent should not have to possess their child. The parent-child relationship should be natural. And when somebody is interfering with that, there's something wrong there. And when the state is picking and choosing sides and saying, well, we're going to make this person the one who has the children, and she kind of gets to call the shots, or he calls the shots, something is wrong with that. The state will tell you, well, that's not what we intend to do, but the state will never prosecute this. So I went down there because I wanted to see this in person. I wanted to make sure that what I was reporting was something I had personal knowledge of. Sat down there, ordered my Coke, was enjoying the music, and I had this to give to Reagan Johnson. Reagan Johnson looked at me, and she did not want it. She kicked me out of the restaurant. She told me I was never welcome back. She wanted me off of the property. I was not a disturbance whatsoever. I was just enjoying myself. So here she was kicking a customer out of the bistro, a customer who had paid for a drink, a customer who had unlimited free refills, that I only got one free refill and I was gonna get another free refill. But this is what she's done. She's not only kicked me out of the restaurant, but now she has also not fulfilled her obligation to me as a I don't know if she's an owner, or if she's well, I don't know what her relationship is with that, but she intentionally interfered with the services that I was provided, did not refund me my money. And which is not a big deal. It's not, I'm not concerned about that, but in principle, that's what she did. Had I ordered a meal there, she would have kicked me out and not let me eat the meal. Well, she would have packed it up. When I go to a restaurant, I expect to have a certain ambiance, atmosphere. I was enjoying the music, and Reagan Johnson kicked me out simply because I said, hey, I'd like to give this to you. And again, I will be posting video about this on here. This is so that you can see whether I was being mean and vindictive or anything else. But anyway, this whole video is going to be talking about the issue of interference with child custody. And I think this is very important because it is a crime. It is a state jail felony, but very few people are enforcing it as such. I recently found out about another friend who actually has gone through this process for a number of years, and now because of he was able to convince somebody that yes, this is a state jail felony, he's able to see his child, and I believe that his ex-wife is now on probation for 10 years. I'm not positive, but if she is, she deserves it. She was doing this for a number of years, and by putting her on probation for 10 years, it will help to ensure that there are no more problems with her. Now, Reagan Johnson, who is a member of the city council and is planning to be the next mayor, maybe she should also be put under the same thing. Maybe she should also be given the maximum under the Texas Penal Code, under 2503, which would be 2 years in jail plus up to a $10,000 fine. I don't know, somebody else would have to determine that, but perhaps we do need to have the law enforcement and the district attorney and other people actually enforce the law rather than trying to portray a good person, a good father, or a good mother, whatever the case may be, as being an angry, violent, bitter person causing a public disturbance. She has been bullying her ex-husband. She has been abusing the children. And when I say abusing the children, I do not use these words lightly. When you are teaching a child to reject another parent, a parent who is a very good parent, you are poisoning that child's mind. You are abusing that child. You are putting that child through trauma. She, in my opinion, is a child abuser. She is exploiting her children, using the children. And when I say her children and Brandon's children. These children were made together, and they both should be parenting together. It is a shame that she left him for, I won't go into that. But anyway, that is what took place. Brandon should not have to lose access to his children on account of this. So anyway, as you go and watch this video, you will see this is going to be a little bit disjointed in some areas. We had several different cameras going. I had audio playing in one camera. I had my phone playing, so I did a Facebook Live while I was there just because I thought it would be the easiest way to capture the video. I had another camera with my friend Vineet Mansukani. He was out at the corner. He's gone through some of these issues. He had my camera running. And then Brandon who does his Facebook Lives in Mineral Wells every time he goes to pick up his children. And again, I mean, the one thing that we need to keep in context here, there is no reason Brandon should not have been able to be with his children. She was working. She was working. I did not see the children there. Maybe she was keeping the children in a closed room someplace. I don't know. Maybe she was saying, well, you know what? I'm just going to keep the children from Brandon and have my parents watch them. I don't know. I don't know what the situation was. But there's no reason that Brandon should not have been with his children. And there is no reason that the state should not be prosecuting this. The district attorney should not be prosecuting this as a felony, as a crime. So afterwards, I went out, and there were a few incidents you'll see on this video here. And again, sometimes the video is going to be a little bit rough, but I also placed a call to the police department. My call was to say I am reporting a felony in progress, and I would like a police officer to come down. And because I was witnessing a felony in progress. This is a felony. It is a state jail felony. So I'm witnessing the felony in progress. And if there were people down there destroying property, I would also call up the police, because the police are there to protect the citizenry of the city. If there would have been somebody beating somebody up, I would have called the police so that they could come in there and break it up and whatever they needed to do after that. If there was a rape taking place, if there was any type of abuse, if there was vandalism, whatever it may be, the law enforcement is there to enforce the law, to help bring about public safety and stability, and to ensure that we can live at peace and in liberty with each other. So this was a felony that I was witnessing. And I did call up the police officer, the police department. I got transferred to somebody, and they did send down an officer. His name was Andy, and Andy, I'm sorry, I forget your last name. His badge number was 316. I will tell you that he was the most gracious police officer that I've met. He took the report, he listened to us. I do have some of the interview with him on camera. He did go in and he talked with Reagan Johnson, and then he came back out. He did file his report, and I know that because later on I was sitting someplace, and he called me and he asked for the rest of my contact information. Now Brandon did a lot of the details of the report. I was the one who called it in. It was my report and Brandon's report. I am also going to be listed as a witness. I would hope that the district attorney would actually do his or her job and enforce this. And again, this happened with my friend George Saldana down, I believe, in the San Antonio area. He recently had a district attorney who did just that. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Rockwall, and I talked with the district attorney out there about this whole thing with interference with child custody. And she said that she actually had a case in process at that point in time. So it's not unheard of. If you need precedent, there are precedents throughout the state. And again, looking at the Texas Penal Code, this is a state jail felony. So what's going to follow next will be a recap of what took place last night. There may be a few areas that I will be splicing videos together. I'm going to edit some of the stuff out, I will let you know what's being edited out. I have the full footage, so that if anybody says, well, we need to see the full footage, I can do that too. But there are areas in which the it's just a little bit long and just drawn out. So I'm going to try to eliminate that the best that I can. And if anybody needs to see it, I'd be very glad to put that out too, separately or together. But anyway, this is also going to be serving in part to help the district attorney do his or her job. This is what I saw personally. I am the witness. I was there. It was my camera that did this. I was the one that called the police. My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas, and they can call me if they would like to. I'd be very glad to testify in this case. And at the same time, Brandon was talking with different people, and one of the men who lives and works in the area, I guess, actually gave Brandon an interview, and Brandon is always appreciative when somebody interacts with him. Too often, I think we say nothing, do nothing. We pretend that, well, this is just two people that can't get along. Usually, in an instance like that, it's one person who's bullying the other person. And we try to make them both moral equivalents. They are not. One person was breaking the law by committing a state jail felony, and the other person is trying to respond to say, I want to see my children. I'm here to pick up my children. And the other person is withholding. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this. Enough of my talking. I present this to you, but that will kind of guide you to see what the rest of this thing will be about. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks so much. Nice place out here.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Don't worry.
Somebody was asking me for...
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Did you want to advertise anything?
I think I'm just going to take a Coke for right now.
And they're free refills.
Really? Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. What time are you open until tonight?
10.
Okay,
Well,
gotcha.
We're called Proud Country because we are proud veterans and we are all.
All right.
Thank you all very much. And I was in the Army. I'm an Army veteran. Cecil's an Army veteran, and Tom Rowan was in the Air Force.
Go Air Force! Yeah.
And
Sorry, I have to get excited about it.
well,
Get up in the morning, things in my mind. Cup of coffee, once another day gathers, 10 more hours to go. Get back home, across the bed, a few more minutes, a few more hours, maybe tomorrow. I guess you are. Another day behind me, trying to let go. Heaven, really yesterday. Lately all I want is a call from home. Another day it's on, never know. Seems of our lives go rolling through my mind. Ain't losing you just takes home. A few more minutes, a few more hours, maybe tomorrow. I get you all.
You mind if I get the refill right now? And then, so how long are they going to be here until all night?
another day behind
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
They're going to be here all night?
Yes, they'll be here until they start wrapping up around 11:30.
Thank you.
And we're open Fridays and Saturday nights from 6 to 10
Okay.
through the end of October.
Gotcha.
And
Wonderful.
then we close down for this season.
Really?
But our inside stays open.
Gotcha. Okay. Very nice. Love it out here. Thanks.
Everyone has to tell me, come around here now. As you know, trade all my brand new days for just one more yesterday. Now, a minute before you come, few more minutes,
Is that the tip jar up there?
a few more
Okay.
hours, maybe tomorrow. I guess you are.
Another day behind me.
Time goes forever. Till the yesterday's close. Another day behind me. It's time to let go of now. Till our yesterday.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Well, we co-wrote several songs. The Ranch Hall of Fame.
Okay, come and see me.
Yes, I'll
Okay,
let her
great.
know to come out.
Thanks.
Here today, believe it or not, we met at the VA. We're not married, if y'all are wondering. We're not married to each other. We're just two veterans that met at the VA and happened to play music.
And I kind of like butted my way into one of his gigs.
Yeah, exactly. My beautiful bride Brandy is in this month's Weatherford Now magazine, called In the Kitchen with Brandy Mama. That was a surprise this month. And her husband is an Army veteran as well. But this is one we wrote. This is our version of a gospel tune. Just kind of little small things that you don't recognize. You don't always see.
Hey, how you doing?
May I help you?
Great place, sir. Can I just? I'm going to be leaving this to make here. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Hey, I wanted to give you something if you don't mind. Okay, so
You don't want it? Are you here on behalf of Mr. Johnson?
I am here on behalf of myself. I have a co-host a show called Dad Pop Today, and we deal with issues. Okay, if you're taking me out. Okay, do you want this? You do realize that this is a felony you're committing right now, and that it has a punishment of 6 months to 2 years.
You may leave now. And you are not welcome back.
No, this is the way that I just paid. I'm a veteran.
You leave now.
Why am I being kicked out?
I don't want any part of this. Walk out that door.
You are committing a felony right now. I'm
Walk
sorry.
out the door. I don't want to hear what you have to say, and I'm not going to ask you again to leave.
Well,
So you have to start walking. Now.
Escort me.
I'm not going to touch you. You're going to move your ass out that door. Now.
I'm moving. I've got
A little quicker.
I've got an arthritic hip.
I don't want to hear about it. I want you to keep moving.
That's fine. I'll keep moving.
Keep moving.
Thank you.
And you'll be off this property as well, and all the way out that door. Do you understand?
Where does your property end?
It ends at the end
I'm
of
a
the
veteran,
driveway.
sir.
I don't care. You keep moving.
I'm a veteran. I'm good with it.
You're not welcome here.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, ma'am. It is a shame because I thought you were a Christian. I've also been a missionary, and I wanted to come and talk with you peacefully.
Anywhere out there.
So you're saying like right here is good?
A little further.
Why don't you
Okay.
just leave?
Sir, I am here for a
ask you any
reason.
questions. We
I don't
just
care
leave.
what you're here for.
Ignore him.
Him and him can leave.
Or we can stay. If I'm off the property, it's not a problem. I am a veteran. I know you don't give a shit, but that's fine.
You're not a good veteran.
Well, maybe you are just not a good person.
I ain't gonna let you get no shit unless I do. I was gonna come out here.
Can I get your name? Are you kind of like in the middle of this crap? I'm sorry. Look, I came out here. I wanted to give her some papers because I'm going to file a report with the police right now. What she's doing is actually committing a state jail felony, and I'm reporting it as a felony. It's called 2503. It's in the Texas Penal Code, and I was going to give it to her because a state jail felony carries a penalty of 6 months to 2 years in jail plus a fine. And if you look at 2503, that is part of the state jail felony. So I'm going to be filing the report, calling the police down here. And I know that she may not like it, but what she's doing is committing a felony, and I will go ahead and do that. So thank you. I'm sorry you're in the middle of this. Thank you so much. By the way, great music. Tell those veterans I loved them. I really, really did. Thank you so much. We are, oops, I guess it's the wrong way here, but I'm going to sign off here right now. I'm here with Brandon Johnson and...
Oh, wow, we got, all right. Hey, guys, here, let me get in the...
Well, hold on a second. Let's use yours. I'm going to sign off.
No,
here.
no,
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right,
Okay.
hey, well, let's see here. Let me turn around. All right, guys, Jeff Morgan.
Hey.
Dad Talk today. Good to see
Absolutely,
you.
absolutely. And let me just
thanks
tell
for
you what I
coming
did.
out.
Absolutely. Let me show you what I can do here. So first off, I want to just say that they had a...
Hold on, it gets to be a family reunion when people decide to come in.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
Let's
see
see.
for the camera here, guys.
All right. All right, now, Jeff's got some stuff he wants to say. He's been following this
This is the
story.
right angle, Jeff.
But you can
You
go
want
over
to
there.
come down
Yeah.
here? Or?
Well, let's say right here because they want us off away
Hey,
from
did you call?
which is fine.
Did you talk to them? When are they coming?
I did not call the police yet.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get them down here, man. We
Okay.
Because I don't want to be down here all night.
Right.
I thought they were already on their way.
I don't have the number for them.
Okay, it's 328.
Hold on a second here.
Yeah, I'd rather us hang out at the house.
Yeah, absolutely. 328.
7770.
Okay, what's the first?
Oh, sorry. It's
Hold on a second here.
940.
Okay, let me get back. 940
328.
328.
7770. Come on, I'll double check that.
I hope because I'm following it right
Finish
now.
our
So.
real woman while we're waiting. What do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Yes, my name is Jeff Morgan. I am down here at the bistro.
All right, the cops are going to be on their way. They're off their break and switching gears, and I thought we already had them on the way. They're not on the way. So here.
Well, it's still a felony. It's the interference with child custody. It's under the Texas Penal Code 2503. Sure, absolutely, I'll be glad to do so. I have to hold and wait.
Okay.
So just to give you a recap, I did go in there. Great music, great musicians. Really, I mean,
Oh, are they playing already?
they're playing. They're doing a great job. The coke was great. Nice lady. There are 3 veterans.
There's 3 veterans.
3
out there?
veterans. 2 Army, 1 Air Force. Like I said, doing a great job. But then I asked if I could see Reagan, and all I wanted to do was give her something, and she had she wanted nothing to do with it. But I just said, hey, I wanted to give this to you. This is the Texas Penal Code 25.03. She kicked me out. I was still in the middle of eating. I was still in the middle of drinking. That's why I have my drink right here. And I was enjoying the music, but she kicked me out and told me I was never welcome back and everything else off the property. And she had a couple of other people around her, surrounding her. But all I did was say, you know,
Now wait a minute. This is supposed to be a hospitable place.
this is supposed to be a hospitable
And
place.
you know, I watched. I want you to go into this, but I want to say, I watched a video today where they had this video about mineral wells and how hospitable it was and how they care about family.
Right.
Did you get that vibe?
See, I'll be honest, I came out here and I'm like, I really like mineral wells. I'm looking around here and I'm, number one, okay, first off, I see all these Trump signs versus, no, I'm like, good, the Biden people aren't here. No, there must be common sense out here. But no, it's a beautiful area. And I'm like, man alive, I could easily live out here. But, you know, and I went in because it's kind of, I used to live in a smaller town. Bistro was fun. I went inside and it was very enjoyable sitting in there, just listening to the music. Like I said, 3 vets. And, you know, we were off for them and, you know, told them I was a vet too. And it was really worthwhile. But I did get I thought, yeah, I'm not going to buy anything to eat. I just am going to get something to drink. Nothing alcoholic. I got my Coke and they get free refills right now. So,
You mean you can't go back and get your free refill?
well, my free refill is right here. I could go back and get some more. I mean, really, you could make the case, why are they not letting me finish my Coke? Like if I
Did they give you your money back?
No. But, you know, that's okay.
Can I
because
walk back in and ask for the refill for you?
You can do whatever you want to, but I want the lady who served me to keep that as a tip. The whole thing, you know, because she was, you know, it's unfortunate because people should not have to be dragged into this. But then, you know, I had a couple of people here, they were really kind of a little bit vicious toward me, I thought.
Oh, were they really?
Not welcoming, I will put that. And by the way, I had the Facebook Live running at the same time, so it should appear pretty soon. But I was so surprised. Told them I was a veteran. They said, well, you're a pretty shitty one. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, my name's Jeff Morgan. I am down here at the bistro. I was actually just inside listening to music and drinking a
You know,
Coke. I wanted to
the
give
thing
some
about it
to
is,
Johnson off
I'm gonna walk off while
Brandon,
he's
my friend here,
talking
about
to
the
the cops.
interference with child custody.
I
which
guess
is
I
a,
could let him.
state jail felony according to the
let y'all
Texas
hear
Penal
what he-
Code
how he
2503.
can.
I just wanted her to know about this. I mean, I'm a Christian person. I've been in ministry, stuff like that. I think that this is a very important matter, that a father or a mother, if the mother's being isolated from the kids, this is a criminal matter. It's not civil, it's criminal, because I do have the Texas Penal Code in front of me. This is a state jail felony. State jail felonies, of course, as you know, better than I do, range from 6 months to 2 years in jail, and also a fine accompanies it. So this is not a civil matter. This is a criminal matter according to the Texas Penal Code. And I printed off the statutes. I printed off everything, including what the punishments were. So I'd be very happy to. I was just trying to give her this. In fact, I actually co-host a show called Dad Talk Today, and we're pretty much nationwide. We talk about issues like divorce and families, and we want children to grow up in strong, intact families with both parents. But we see many instances in which one parent is isolating the children from another parent. So we talk about some of this stuff. And, you know, I went in and I said, hey, if I talk about this on the radio, and if I talk with senators and have talk with legislators and stuff like that about this, why not come down here? I've been watching what's been going on. And, you know, this is a felony in progress. If she were hitting somebody, if she were abusing somebody, if she were raping somebody, you would be down here to arrest her. This is a felony. So I don't understand why, according to my understanding of the law, if it is a felony, why does she get away with it every single week, and why are you not arresting her? I have the statute right here. I want to, right.
Well, just tell
What,
him
what
we
I'm
need a
doing, what I'm
report.
doing right now is that I'm actually I'm asking for a police officer to come down and arrest her. This is the felony in progress. Well, okay, that's fine, but then if he's not going to arrest her, I would like to file a report afterwards, because I believe that, I mean, unless...
Well, let him know I'm here. I need the report for my records.
Absolutely. That'll be fine. I'll wait down here. My name's Jeff Morgan. I'm in a suit, and, well, I'm not in a suit, but I'm in a decent enough suit. And like I said, I came down here because I do co-host a radio program with another person, Dad Talk Today, and this has been going on down here, and it is a shame to see that our officials, that oftentimes law enforcement, that our courts actually cause these problems. Yes, it's down here. I'm at I'm at the corner of North Oak and 2nd Street. There's also I'll be standing here at the corner. My phone number is... I mean, if I were seeing somebody vandalize, I'm standing right at the corner. If I were watching somebody vandalize something, I'd call the police. My name's Jeff Morgan. I'm from Dallas. So go ahead. No, I have not. I've been in the state the entire time. Not that I'm aware of. I have a mask. Yeah. I was just at the doctor's today. They did all the screenings. No sore throat, no runny nose, no cough, no temperature. Yes, I'm at the corner. There's a loans. It's like loans up to 14.
You're at the corner of North Oak and 2nd Street.
Something like that. So I'm right at the corner. Yes, absolutely.
Jeff, you're at the corner of North Oak
Right.
and 2nd Street.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. So anyway, Brandon, this is what's going on here, and I'm not an attorney, just so that you know that, and you do know that. But I keep looking at the law, and to me it says from the Texas Penal Code 25.03. Here's what it says. Interference with child custody. But let me go back.
Get a water there, Jeff. If you'd like
Oh, I've got my Coke, my free refill. But I decided to say, okay, this is from the Texas Penal Code, and it's Title 6. It's called Offenses Against the Family. Title 6, Offenses Against the Family. Chapter 25, again, Offenses Against the Family.
Here, let me just give him a screenshot of it.
Absolutely. So if you have bigamy, bigamy is a third-degree felony. Okay? Bigamy is a third-degree felony. Now over here you have prohibited sexual conduct. So you're having sex with your sister or with your, there's certain things. You have that. That is a third-degree felony. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so what does this mean as far as a third-degree felony?
You need a whole one of those?
No, that's okay. I'm just fine here. So I went and, oh, wait a minute. Let me grab another one here. Because I put it off everything. I said, okay, let me understand it. I don't want to be speaking ignorantly about something. Well, I thought I had it here with me. Come on now. But I believe it's the third-degree felony goes 2 years to 10 years imprisonment. Well, I did not want to become overly organized. It's in here.
I know, it's always when you're on the spot.
I know, it's always when I'm on the spot. Okay, well, I obviously, who knows? Maybe somebody's
All right,
an expert.
here we go. We got the police.
Yeah.
Maybe this is our guy.
But really, what it does say, though, is, if I'm not mistaken, the third-degree felony is 2 to 10 years in prison. And the state-degree felony...
This one must not be that bad because it's only 2 years, I think.
Right.
6 months,
because
2 years.
So
something
the state jail felony is worse than a misdemeanor, but it's not like a third-degree felony. And so the state jail felonies, it says that in Texas, state jail felonies are punishable by 180 days to 2 years in jail, in state jail, and a fine of up to $10,000. So this is a very serious crime that's taking place right now. And if lawmakers identify a crime as a felony but fail to designate it, it goes on and on. But this is the punishment for interference with child custody. Now, as I understand, you probably have your order with you, but this is when you're supposed to be having your children. And I know that your ex-wife has taken them during the time that you've had with them. That also is a state jail felony. So if you read 2503, interference with child custody says this. It says a person commits an offense if the person takes or retains a child younger than 18 years of age. Number one, when the person knows that the person's taking or retention violates the express terms of a judgment or order, including a temporary order of a court disposing of the child's custody. This is a crime. This is a state jail felony.
So you're witnessing the crime take place.
Absolutely, I'm witnessing the crime
Just
take
as
place.
if two guys were duking it out in the street,
Absolutely.
causing a public disturbance.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm witnessing right now.
Or if you saw somebody hijack my truck.
It is a crime in progress.
We have a crime in progress.
Right now. That's the way that I see it. Now again, I mean, maybe somebody's going to tell me, wait a minute, this isn't a crime in progress. As I read the Texas Family Code, it is a crime in progress. Number two, when the person has not been awarded custody of a child by a court of competent jurisdiction, don't ask me what competent jurisdiction is, but knows that a suit for divorce or a civil suit or application for habeas corpus to dispose of the child's custody, but all of these things, it goes on and talks about it. And if you go to section 25.03, and if you look at point D, it says this: an offense under this section is a state jail felony.
Right there.
And I said, okay, so tell me about the different types of felonies. I looked this up again, and this is not from
well, go ahead.
but this one here.
Hey, there goes the cop. I thought he was coming to.
I thought he was too. I was expecting that.
Yeah.
But actually, so here it is on the other side here. Texas felony crimes by class and sentences. So, and this was, I think, by some attorney or something, but you have capital felonies, which are punishable by death or by life without parole. You have first-degree felonies. A conviction of a first-degree felony can result in imprisonment of 5 to 99 years. as well as a fine of up to $10,000. Sexual assault against a child is a first-degree felony in Texas. Second-degree felony. Under Texas law, second-degree felonies are punishable by 2 to 20 years in prison and a fine of up to $10,000. Third-degree felonies. A third-degree felony is punishable by 2 to 10 years imprisonment and a fine up to $10,000.
Now wait a minute, that is crazy. We're gonna have to talk about this later. Promoting or pimping is a third-degree felony. So does that apply to Pimpin' Paxton, Pimp Daddy Paxton?
I'm not going to go there.
Him?
I'm going to stick with what I know here right now. But then after this, we have the first, second, third-degree felonies. We have the state jail felonies. Now the state jail felonies say this: in Texas, state jail felonies are punishable by 180 days to 2 years in state jail. So the minimum is 180 days, up to a maximum of 2 years, and a fine up to $10,000. This is a state jail felony. So again, I look at the state jail felony, and then I look at 2503 that says interference with child custody is an offense under this section, is a state jail felony.
Right.
So you tell me, if it's a state jail felony, is it a crime? Because everybody says, oh, it's civil, it's civil. It's not civil, it's a criminal. This is why, this is a crime against the state, right? This is something
since they own the children,
But this is a state jail felony, and it should have a punishment of 180 days to 2 years in prison, up to $10,000 fine. Now, all I did, again, what I did, and I think I have this on the camera that I had there, I just wanted to give this to Reagan. And again, I'm not trying to cause controversy here, but as a co-host of Dad Talk Today, I said, you know what? We cannot just talk about this stuff and see this happening. And I've been watching you, and we've talked about this. So I said, I drove in from Dallas to be here, because I thought, you know, maybe she doesn't quite understand the ramifications of her actions.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, Jeff, just a moment here. Look, you know, sometimes things happen, right?
Right.
You know, somebody could miss a pickup or whatever.
Right.
You understand? I mean, from a.
But this is intentional.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. This has been going on since July 21st, 23rd, somewhere in there.
Right.
Where they were stolen from my house, and then I haven't seen them since.
So, and Brandon, I also, just so that you know, I mean, I had to file a police report against something within the last half year or something. And the only reason I filed it, I didn't want to file anything, but because if I did not file it to protect myself, you know, somebody else would file something and twist all the facts around. I had witnesses. You know, I got attacked by my former in-laws and by my ex-wife's new husband. They wanted to take me out. That's what they said. And I talked with somebody. I said, "What?" I said, "I can't believe this."
But you have to go ahead and file a report.
You have to file because they committed perjury against me in the past. And the thing was is that their perjury, the judge recognized it was perjury, didn't punish it, but I was completely innocent. I was innocent. But the judge gave no punishment for perjury. And you know, when you have perjury against you again and again and again, they start to actually concoct a record that brings doubt to people's minds. Maybe he really does do this. He says all of these reports, even though the entire thing is a lie, it's false. So at what point do you have to do something? Yeah, I know Vinny has gone through, many people have gone through this stuff. Okay.
See, in World War II, the Nazi propaganda Mr. Goebbels and Tokyo Rose used to repeat their propaganda nightly. And there is a human psychology thing. If you repeat the lie often enough, people start to believe it as the truth, or there is some truth to it. It's just the way the human mind works.
Psychologically, if you say a lie enough, it becomes true.
Yeah, it becomes the truth in people's mind. So this is what happens, and I saw that play out in my case. And that's why they're doing it, because they say it long enough, and especially when you've got these sexual jihadists manning our courts, they are even more prone to starting to believe that. In my case, it happened.
And what they're doing,
even a trained master's degree psychological behavioral health expert started to believe it, because that's the way she was made up. She hears it often enough, even though she's dismissed it in the past. For 3 years of hearing it non-stop over and over again, she starts to believe it.
that's amazing. And I would have not really connected this dot, but I just came across this. You know, they talk about precedent. They want to talk about precedent all the time in these courts. Well, precedence is more important than the law itself. So what they're doing is, from what you're telling me, is they are propping up this system of lies by repeating the lie and then saying it's precedent. It doesn't even matter, and that's actually in a court case. That it doesn't even matter if it's not true. It's now precedent, and precedent matters more than if it's true or not
So
true.
the law is cast aside, and this lie is now the precedent. So what does that make? That a court, in my eyes, that court is now quackery and witchcraft. It's not a court of law anymore.
Exactly.
And people's properties and people's, most importantly, the most valuable thing in life, your relationships with your family, especially your parent-child relationships, are being totally smashed to smithereens based on this lie. So it's become a lie-based system. It's a sorry state when a culture and a nation comes down to this.
So Brandon, what I want to say is this, is that...
Now guys, I got 10% left on my phone. I didn't expect to be down here this long.
Yeah.
Did you call the cops? Or, I mean, are they coming? Or
Well,
not
they were
coming?
supposed to be here. It looked like we had police officers that went by, and I thought 2 of them were going to be stopping for us, but they didn't. And but I mean, it really is a felony that's being committed right now, and the duty of the police officers is to protect the citizens from abuse and from crime. So, and the victims of the crime right now, you could make the case, are the children. So they are failing to protect children. Yeah, they're also failing to protect you and the relationship there, but they're failing to protect the children, and they're brainwashing them. So this is a very serious issue. So if they're not going to come down there, I will go down to the police office. You can come down with me. I'll go down and file a report down there.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what it is.
Because when you destroy the families, that problem, see, many children, especially boys or fatherless boys, go on to commit crimes. The girls become a burden on the welfare state and the society in general. And if you have millions and millions of these, it drags the whole society down. So this effect radiates all the way through from that individual family, all the way through the entire society and culture and the nation. And a nation cannot survive when you keep, death by 1,000 cuts. Eventually the final cut will bring the nation down.
So, but I want to say one other thing here, and I'm sorry for taking the extra time here. In my opinion, I've heard you say that your ex-wife is on city council, and she is committing a felony, and she should be prosecuted as such. And she's also going to be the upcoming mayor. Would you call her mayor felon mayor? What do you call her? Because look, this is really what it comes down to. And again, if I'm wrong about this, I'd love to have a police officer explain how I'm wrong. Love to have somebody who is an attorney explain how I'm wrong, or the district, whoever it is. I've seen a lot of people go through this. And Brandon, you're a friend of mine. I said, you know what? This should not be taking place. So Benita and I drove. We drove a couple of hours to be here. I left shortly after work today. It took us a couple of hours to get here. And again, I thought, I went outside and I nice place. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed, if I would have ordered a meal, I wouldn't have been able to eat it. But I just wanted something, a Coke to drink, and I enjoyed it. And the veterans, the 3 veterans in there, like I said, the camaraderie went up and whatever. But this is really, 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 really surprising.
I just want to say this. In family code, it's guilty until proven innocent, whereas America is founded on innocent until proven guilty. So we'll extend that courtesy to Reagan Johnson.
Right, absolutely.
And so I just want to correct, unless...
Absolutely, yes. When I say that, he's absolutely right, because it is a little punishment right now. It is an allegation. But I think that, the people in Mineral Wells, whether it's law enforcement, the district attorney, whoever it may be, have that obligation. And I am surprised that the police have not come down yet. I've called them. In fact, I'm going to call them again.
Yeah, because I got to get my report.
Yeah. This is something that's completely wrong here. So.
Who's that lady? Is that?
She's head of the Republican Party here in Indiana. That's Paul Rupp.
Is she backing up Reagan?
I don't
Is
know.
Reagan also a Republican candidate?
Well, there's no candidate party on the city council, and I don't want to bother Barbara. She's private. She's
Yeah,
a private
I know.
lady.
And that's like the guy that
you know,
I support.
but I'll say, I was down here. There was August Pfluger was inside the bistro.
I'd like to get my Coke refilled.
He was. I've got a
If I
water
can
there.
go back and say I'm here for
But-
the guy you told not to come back, but he paid for a Coke
But-
with unlimited refills, and he wants a refill.
I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, we try. Yeah, we don't want to overdo it, but.
So aren't you being gypped the price of the Coke? How much did you pay? Doesn't
Like I said, to me, it's the tip for the lady.
Hey, but let me
small
ask.
claims code?
But I want to make it clear because Barbara, she was very supportive of the resolutions we passed.
Right,
Because you weren't here when I talked about that earlier.
right.
Barbara was actually invited me in to speak with August Pfluger, who's running for the House of Representatives in Congress.
Yeah, yeah.
So I felt like she was supportive of me in that, and she offered to escort me in, and Reagan told her no, she couldn't do that.
Yeah, and that's a shame
And
because
so-
Reagan, as you told what I've heard in the past, is supposed to be a Christian lady. Now, or her father's supposed to be a Christian man too. This is hypocrisy. You cannot hate your brother and say you love God. That's what the Bible says. It's black and white. You cannot hate your brother and say, I love God, but I hate Brandon. I love God, but I'm going to abuse my children. I love God, but I'm going to exploit my children. I love God, but I'm going to just what? No, to me, that would be signs of her not.
Well, we got these people down here. I wonder what these if they got something to say. Hey, Darren, what's up, man?
Get the fuck out of here.
What's up?
Take your phone and stick it in your hand. That's what I think.
Hey, what would y'all do if this
There ain't nothing bad going on here.
Get rid of the glass.
Sure. Hey, do I get my free refill here? Like I'm supposed to get my unlimited refill?
You're okay being a part-time father.
I'm not a part-time father. I'm a full-time father.
Do you have that title of non-custodial pay rent?
No, I don't.
What do you have then?
Joint managing conservator.
Do you know what that means?
I do know what
What
that
does it mean?
It means I get to see her on my schedule.
Hey, this is
visit.
Darren.
Hey, you know what?
Okay,
What you got? The one that called me a shitty veteran?
Why did you accept
Because you're not a good dude.
You just touched me. That was assault that I just witnessed.
Oh boy, that's a good veteran.
if you're
Well, you know what? You want to go there? I'm just telling you.
Okay,
Technically, you did.
Get the fuck out of here.
You want to say it again? Come on.
Work together on a good patient.
There we go. Beautiful.
She goes to my house
Hey.
when she wants to.
That's perfect, man. That's all I'm asking.
That's all he's
But do
asking.
you
That is
think
all
you're
I'm
going to
asking
get that
for.
by doing this?
Now wait a minute.
She
You
is
think?
committing a crime right now.
Whoa!
Wait,
Jeff,
no,
Jeff,
oh, go ahead.
Jeff, hold up. Wait a minute. Before
I
you think.
don't like all the cameras.
Okay, I'll take it off. Go ahead.
No,
You can-
no, leave it on because my
Yeah, you
phone
can-
may
but-
die. If my phone dies, I want to be able to have a backup. So here's my question, because you seem like a reasonable man.
Why don't you come over here and hold this?
Okay, you
and
seem like a reasonable man.
I'll
here.
give him the state pen.
So it is working out for you the way it should work out. You should, and look, yes, you have a court order, but you don't have to have that court order in order to do what's right by your daughter.
It is a state jail felony what's happening right now.
But Jeff,
The punishment for this is at least 6 months to 2 years.
I've been through all this.
hey, but Jeff,
Twice.
But you're okay with the crime and progress
No,
right
what
now.
I'm going to tell you is, it's a whole lot better if both my wives, if I sat down with them, my daughter, there's my daughter right there. You can ask her how I worked with her mother. And it's a whole lot better when you talk to the mom and just doing
But
this
she
shit.
will not-
And you
hey,
doing
Jeff-
this is not going to get you anywhere
Jeff,
with her.
Jeff, no, this is a
I don't
good-
even know who you're talking about in there,
We're
honestly.
talking about
but-
Reagan Johnson.
Yeah, she was just right there. Now look, this is a good conversation. This is a great conversation. I appreciate you, because sir, sir, I don't know your name. You work
I
at the
don't
First
care
National
anymore.
Bank?
Yeah, that's
Do what?
I don't care to give it with all
Okay,
this
well that's
crap
fine.
in my face.
Well look, man, this is what we need. And I got to tell you, I appreciate you because you're the only man that has had the gumption to come out and speak to me out of every time I've had to come down here.
I continue to help get my grandkids in here. But
Okay, well listen, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your time talking to me right now. I truly
here's
do.
my deal: is as a, you know, I'm a Christian at heart. At that, I prayed for my ex-wives, I prayed for my kids, and I worked with my ex-wives, and I let God kind of handle it. It wasn't always the best, but
So
now that they're 27 and
You have
have
grandkids.
babies and grandkids, it's good.
You have grandkids. Do his parents get to see their grandkids?
Well, my parents didn't see them all the time either.
But do
And
they?
there was a rub there for a while too, but
Right.
in the end, what I'm saying is I didn't embarrass my children. I didn't cause my ex embarrassment. And today, now that they're 28 and I got grandkids here, we have a great relationship together.
That's great.
With my new wife.
All of us want that.
But sir,
That's all we
here,
want.
But do you think this is going to lead to that?
now wait a minute.
Wait, but
Hold,
this is-
Jeff,
okay,
Jeff,
you can talk.
please back
It's
down a
yeah.
minute.
Y'all have
Okay,
nothing better
no,
to do.
no, you know what? Hey, you know what, you son of a bitch, you don't have any kids, so you don't know what it's like.
I'll make you where you can't have no more. Get the fuck
Hey, I
out.
can't have many more anyways. But look,
You too.
the thing about
Good
it
enough?
is, you're not, we're not
threatening
guaranteed,
me?
I'm not guaranteed
Yeah.
tomorrow. And I'm not guaranteed that I'm gonna have a relationship
Shut up.
with,
Oh boy, that is gonna ruin my
hey
life.
Jeff,
Will,
Jeff.
come on, babe.
What's your name?
I understand what you're saying.
But look, here's the deal. and
But
this
the
is-
impression you're leaving on your kids here and the stuff you're going to leave behind on Facebook that they're going to relate
Because I'm going now that the
to,
police
you're going to be
officer-
embarrassed by it. They're
No,
going to be
sir.
embarrassed
No,
by it.
sir. And I grant
I don't think they're
you-
feeling it.
hey,
I mean,
down
your
there.
kids, what happened? I mean, do
Oh,
they choose to come see you?
that's
Do they,
perfect.
or do they choose not
My
to?
God, man, I love this conversation. Yes, up until 2 months ago, I had zero problems getting them. And I was not doing this. Yes, I was doing other things, but I was not doing this. Look, I have seen, this is called parental alienation, when you have one parent. Look, that's what it's
I
called.
understand.
So look, I know lots of people. This man right here, Vineet, has been alienated from his daughters. He doesn't see them. He has zero relationship with them. Okay?
He's coming.
Zero.
He's
All right, we got the cop here finally. We have.
Ask Mr. So-and-so you want to
Look,
come out.
you just profess to
Hey, you
be a
want-
Christian
you want to
man.
come out?
You know what? Jesus went through a lot of ridicule, and he died on the cross for my sins, so I'm covered, right? But he went through the ridicule because he knew, and so yeah, I'll look back on this. I don't like doing this. I don't want to be down here.
Well,
I don't.
And my advice to you is, you'll be better off now.
I don't care.
I mean, that's
I
just-
don't care.
I've done it. Like I said, I got elderly kids.
but
Older
how-
kids. I've
how-
got
what-
kids
but-
that are grown now.
But
Okay,
what
I just-
guarantee can you give me? What guarantee can you give me that I will have a relationship in a year, 5, 10? Because you know what? If you could go in there and you say, hey, what could this man do? What could Brandon do to make all this go away? I would take you up on it in a heartbeat, man. Like that.
I
Boom.
can tell you the first step to that, stop doing this.
Well, wait a minute.
I
Wait a
promise
minute. Hey, sir. Hey, Larry. But here's the thing. Do you think that I just
You're not
came?
going to justify this to me in any way.
No, but
shape, or form.
I'm asking. Here's the
No,
thing.
I don't think you just came out here and started, or you just felt like this. Or
Do you
I
think-
get you feel
do you
alienated.
think that I
but
have
you're
not-
alienating them now by embarrassing the crap out of them.
You know what? Do you think that I haven't spent the last 6 years dealing with this and just saying, hey, I didn't go
Here's
from
the thing I'm
0
gonna
to
tell you.
60.
If you've spent 6 years in this situation, and you told
It
me
hasn't
just
been-
2 months ago
No,
all this went wrong.
But I was held
Something
to
changed.
I was held to the minimum standard. I was held to that minimum standard. I said, hey, I'm not okay with it. I went back through the courts. I did like what you're saying. I've gone through the courts. Not only did I go back to court, I went to the appellate court.
Well, and I'm sorry, maybe I'm sour, but
Hey,
if
yeah,
you're
we
going
got-
through the courts and it ain't working, then something's wrong.
No,
The courts are completely broken.
I appreciate your time. I do. I appreciate your time.
Hey, Brandon, come on down here. Yeah, he's got the hat, and then we need to go through this even first. But like I said, I didn't get your name.
My name's Officer Halpin. My badge number is 316. Did you get that?
Go ahead.
Hold on, will you come up here, Beneath?
Did you say it was Austin?
Albin.
Albin.
What was the 8 for? Is it Austin?
Good evening,
No,
officer.
it's Andrew.
Andrew,
People call
all
me
right,
Andy. How you
Andrew
doing,
Albin.
brother?
It's badge number
All right,
316.
so, hey, thanks for finally
Badge number
coming.
316.
No, but actually, I
Yeah,
was.
badge number 316. My last name is Adam Lincoln Boy Ida Nora. First name is Andrew. People call me around here call me Andy. Middle initial is W.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I was the one that called, and and I've got the whole thing. I went in there. I said, you know what? I'm a Christian man. I've been in ministry, gone to seminary, stuff like that. I've heard that Reagan is a Christian, and stuff like that. So I went in there, ordered a Coke, sat down, got my unlimited Coke, was listening to the music. Great time in there, actually. And I asked if Reagan could come. And all I wanted to do, because the idea is maybe she doesn't realize what all is going on. So I had this printed off. And again, and you're familiar with this, a 2503, interference with child custody, and that it is an offense under this is a state jail felony. And I know a lot of times police are put in a tough position because they say, well, it's a civil matter, but it's not. It's a state jail felony. So, because I was doing some research today in the state jail felonies, it says, okay, they're punishable by 180 days to 2 years in state jail.
And up to $10,000.
And up to $10,000 fine. So I'm witnessing this, and in my mind, and maybe I don't understand the law and everything, but in my mind, if I'm seeing somebody vandalize a car, if I would call the police, they would come down here and they would arrest the man. If somebody were sexually assaulting somebody, beating somebody up, and we called the law enforcement would be there and would take people into custody. This is a felony by the Texas Penal Code. This is a felony that's been in progress that has gone on repeatedly. So I was reporting it as a felony. And again, I mean, she kicked me out. I had a free refills. My free refills are gone for the night.
Oh, no.
No, I mean, really, listen, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've only been to Mineral Wells a couple of times. I actually would almost like to live here because
it's a nice town. It's coming up, man. The baker's almost done. They almost got all the windows on it.
Well, and not just that, but I mean, excuse me for saying it like this. I drive around here and I see all these Trump signs. And I was on one Biden sign. I'm like, there's got to be something good here going on. But
I mean, it's a great town. I love working here.
Yeah.
It's a great town. I mean, it's really coming up and up. It's starting to get a nightlife going on.
No, and it's a beautiful place. And I mean, I was sitting down there, really was just minding my own business. The 3 veterans playing, and I said, the 2 Army guys, 1 Air Force guy. Hey, I'm veteran too.
What branch?
Army.
Okay, I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. And I was a Texas Army National Guard for 4.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. So,
you serve, Brandon?
I did not. I'm serving right now.
All right.
We're supposed to protect foreign and domestic.
These are the domestic part. Hey, wait a minute. You gotta make sure that this is.
I look at it more like, I commend you fellas that go over there and you sign up to fight.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate
because
that.
we have this freedom we're supposed to think we have, and the reality is we're not really that free. And I think it's a shame because we know we have a lot of people within this movement.
What's your last name, Brandon?
Johnson.
Okay. Is it John?
That's what I go by. I go by that. I'm not that name, but I go by.
Okay, what's your legal name? What's on your driver's license?
Well, I'm speaking you man to man. That's why I asked for your first name. and
I'm just gonna call you bro.
Hey, brother. That is good. I like it. You
can call me Jeff.
You can call
for the purpose of the report, I need your legal name.
All right. Well, just Brandon Johnson.
Brandon Johnson.
And these
Johnson
folks,
common spelling. Brandon common spelling.
Yes.
All right. When's your birthday, Brandon?
It's 7/10/81.
7/10/81.
But I just want you to know, as man to man, I know you're writing up a legal report, and that's part of the issue. And let me go ahead and do that. And then if Jeff wants to say something, he can. I have been calling the sheriff department because the reality is you're a police officer, you're a policy enforcer. I don't know if they told you that, did they?
And you know what? I don't ever think that was ever mentioned in the academy.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to breeze through this.
Okay.
A policy enforcer, you just enforce policy. Law is real simple. Law is, do no harm, right? That's the law in essence, right? Treat your neighbor as yourself, or the way you want to be treated. Golden rule. Okay. Do unto others you want them to do to you. That's the law. Policy is all these acts, statutes, and codes that they pass. Okay, and then they want us to live under. All right, and then you're to enforce those policies. Now, the reason they call it on the lawful side is the sheriff Now, how do we know the difference? Well, chief is hired through the administrative process.
Okay.
The sheriff, he's elected, so he's supposed to be of the people.
Now, is
Okay.
Reagan in there with the children right now?
Yes.
Reagan is in there. She
Yeah.
actually, yeah, she did not. Like I said, I went in there and I was being very peaceful. I was enjoying the music. And by the way, in addition to serving in the military, I also served as a missionary in the Middle East during Gulf War II.
Oh, brutal.
So I don't know if you were over there or not, but actually we were helping refugees. Iraqi refugees.
I was over there. I had 3 deployments under my belt.
Yeah. What were your years?
06, 07, and 06. No, sorry, 07, 08, 09.
Gotcha. So I was there, and when we caught Saddam. And that
my
was
dad was there when they caught Saddam.
What's that?
My dad was there when they got
Gotcha.
Saddam.
Yeah. But I mean, so I guess in part what I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to create any difficulties. And in fact, when you look at our society today, one of the biggest predictors of problems is when kids grow up as orphans or without a father, so without both parents together. And so I've been watching Brandon. Brandon's a friend of mine. We've known each other for a while, but the last couple of months I've been seeing this stuff go on. I said, wait a minute, this is a felony. And I've never had to experience anything like this. I've had other issues.
Sorry.
But this is a felony. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, so if it's a felony, why isn't anybody being arrested? Why isn't anybody being charged? And I said, okay, you know what? I talked with him. I said, I'll come out from Dallas. Because again, I do this Dad Talk Today program. We try to find solutions to the issues. And what we're seeing right here is not a solution. And, and I think that, I know that you guys don't like I don't want to see you guys, I don't mean with any disrespect, I don't know that. But I mean, you don't like the domestic stuff because domestic stuff can be pretty
Domestic
brutal.
stuff gets pretty hairy pretty quick.
Yeah. And you've got to, there's a lot of crap you guys have to do.
Going off
I
camera.
understand that. But I mean, this is blatant. It's plain as day. And so, he's been out here doing this.
So
I
here's
wanted
the
to come
thing.
out there as an
Okay,
additional
so
witness.
I understand the frustration.
Well, but here's what I need. I need a report.
Oh,
Okay?
absolutely.
And you're the man. And I'll tell you, this is where my issue comes in with the difference between law and legal. The reality is, though, Chief, who's supposed to be enforcing policy, said, hey, no problem. Our policy is we're going to write a report whether just because you asked us to. On the lawful side, which is, I'm just trying to get a fundamental, they didn't have a problem harassing me. But whenever I want to report, now they don't want to do reports. Now you're here. But I'm wanting to explain the difference between law and legal because I'm actually making two reports at the same time. One on the legal side.
Wait a minute, it wasn't the call.
Okay,
you can make your report too.
But,
Anyway.
but the reality is, on the legal or policy side, because the policy is legal, on the legal side it's called a 25.03 interference with child custody.
Texas Penal Code.
Yes. Okay, and I need that. And then I also am on the lawful side saying this is a trespass by way of theft. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I have not.
Okay. So, here about a week ago or whatever, I had I walked up there and boom, they called one of y'all. They called it down there and it was during shift change and man, they got here like I committed like some kind of big crime.
I think it was just probably the only call in at the moment, and that's why they all showed up.
Oh yeah, I was like, man, oh my God. I thought y'all were, I was glad it wasn't black. No, I'm kidding,
All right,
man.
so today you want me to do a report under Section 2503, and you want me to file a separate report, not that's in conjunction with
Yeah, in conjunction
criminal
with
trespass by way of theft.
Yes.
Okay.
Now what that is, and that is on the lawful side, because you have legal and you have lawful. And that's why I was previously making my reports through the sheriff's department, which is a lawful side of law enforcement, where y'all are policy side or legal side. But they want to go by policy. I can't get into, so all I'm asking is that when I go back to court, I'm distinguishing between the two.
Okay.
The 2503 is legal because that's in Act statutes and codes. On the lawful side, it's a trespass. And because it's against my property, or my person, my property right.
All right, but real quick, Brandon, what is your phone number?
940-452-2547.
All right, so you want me to go speak with Reagan? I got to go here because she's considered an offender in this instance. So I need to go speak with her so I can get the report filed for each day. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that's it. Those two things. And like I say, it's trespass by way of theft because they belong to me and they belong to her. But this, you know, when my property is being taken, then it's a trespass on my property.
All right, I'll go talk with Reagan and I'll try to get this report for you as soon as possible. Okay?
Hey, thank you.
Andy, you can need anything else from here. I mean, I know it's no. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, we're just here right now in Mineral Wells, and I came out, for people that don't know, Brandon Johnson is a friend of mine, and we've known each other for about 3 years now. And your friendship has meant a whole lot to me.
Thank you, Jeff.
I mean, the first time I met you, remember down in Austin, and then you saw me up in DC, and I'm like, who is this guy? But
okay, Jeff was, you were videoing when at the, what was it, 452? There was a House Bill
453, I think.
House Bill 453. Dutton killed it. We raised a lot of cane down there.
Yeah.
And
but we also had a second issue that came up because there was the time that I went to the Rockwall GOP breakfast, and the Attorney General Ken Paxton was there. And you know, this issue right now that you're dealing with, I've never had to deal with anything like this. But I knew a lot of people, both men and women, that have dealt with it, and I said, you know what, this is wrong. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It doesn't make a difference whether you're man or woman, whatever, and the government is supporting this and not doing anything about it. So I asked about the issue of the child support, because they can take away your driver's license, they can put you in prison, all these various things. They can abuse you and threaten you. And I asked them about that, and they wouldn't let me videotape anything, but I got on, put a couple of videotapes out, and I figured that's the end of it. I'm helping you guys out, I'm done. And then Andrew Leone called me, and then somehow I guess he called you too.
Now wait a minute, that was because of Michelle Smith. What was it?
Oh, well, that's right too. Michelle Smith, yeah, because
Michelle Smith set up that. Ken Paxton had
Michelle Smith with her, and yeah. So what happened is Ken Paxton told me to contact Michelle Smith. I don't. He went to the bathroom or something like that. But he told me to contact Michelle Smith, and anyway, here comes Andy right now.
Okay.
Brandon and
I'm Jeff Morgan.
All right, went and talked to Reagan, saw the kids. Kids are doing fine. I'm gonna go get started on this report. Is there anything else y'all need from me?
Hey,
well, but this is a felony in progress. Is that correct? Is my understanding of this correct?
I'm gonna do the report. I'm gonna file it. It's up to the DA at this point.
Okay, so who is? Because I'm from Dallas,
okay,
and this is an issue because. I know DAs, I've heard DAs say, well, we want to only take the big cases. You don't want us to waste our time on this. This is the destruction of a family, destruction of society. And I want to follow up personally with it. And I've done this in the past. Brandon and I have actually gone down, we were just talking about a meeting that we organized with the Attorney General a couple of years, well actually they organized that, but they called us to do it. I'm going to be seeing Senator Cruz in a week. We have other people that we're seeing. We're still continually talking with legislators and other things as well. Again, my name is Jeff Morgan. I am a co-host of Dad Talk Today.
Okay.
And I think this is a very big issue. So I want to make sure that there's going to be follow-up. If the DA wants my information, I'll be very glad to provide it.
I don't know if the DA wants your information.
Right. So, but what is the process for me to contact the DA? Because I'm the one who's filing the report.
Okay.
This is a crime in action.
Well, both of us. You can put us both down because
I am witnessing this. I said, wait a minute, because I was the one that got kicked out of there.
Okay.
And I was the one who was threatened, and I was actually assaulted. But it's not a big enough thing to really be concerned about, honestly. But the thing is that, again, I was just trying to give her some information because what is going on is absolutely criminal. And if the DA does not take this into account, this is the destruction of families. Vladimir Lenin used to say, destroy the family, destroy society. And that is what he or she, whoever the DA is approving of. This needs to stop. Brandon has not seen his children. They were kidnapped from him last time. And she's also poisoning them against him. And I think that this is criminal. Well, actually, the Texas Penal Code says it's criminal. So it's a felony.
Hey.
And if he's not going to do it, I just want to know, because I'll follow up with it.
Well, unfortunately,
It's out of your hands. I know. Your job is to take the report.
Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Hey, it was great.
Hey, just one last thing. 'Cause
Love to talk with you more
always
sometime,
ask
but
this
anyway.
question. Do you have kids?
not yet.
All right. Are you married?
Yes.
Oh, well, be careful. Just be careful, man. Seriously, because we just see this happen a lot nowadays. And
So as far
just
as-
on a personal level, what is the divorce rate right now?
That's a very good question.
But you're talking about less. Like most people aren't even getting married anymore. You know, half the people don't get married. They just commingle. You know, habitate. Out of the ones who get married, and most of those, 70-80% don't last.
I don't think it's that high, but I don't know. But the thing that I'm working
it's
on,
over
Andy,
50%, and the odds are stacked against you, man. It's really not recoverable.
Yeah, the thing is, of course, you can, you know, if you marry a good woman and you're a good man, that helps a lot. But a good woman can become a bad woman, and a good man can become a bad man
But
too.
just have a prenup, even though you don't have much. You may not have much money. I mean, you can't make that much. I know from working.
I'm going to tell you what we're trying to do.
Just be careful, man.
Yeah.
Just
we're trying,
and I'm telling you that from serious, man.
because in the state of Texas, marriage has no legal protection from my perspective. We actually have a case that we're taking to the Supreme Court. We're trying to next session.
Okay.
Just there was another case. It's regarding the issue of no-fault divorce, because no-fault divorce is forced divorce, and there's no legal protection for marriage is what it comes down to. And that's what happens when somebody leaves and then they get rewarded by the state with the kids, and then they get to destroy relationships. You know, the thing is, you can't look at people skeptically all the time, but you know, keep your marriage strong.
All right.
And anyway, so good talking with you, Andy. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank
Nice to meet
you.
you. What's your name, sir?
Thank you.
This is
Benit.
Benit.
Vineet.
Denise.
You go by Jack or Benito.
Jack is cool.
I was ordering pizza
Have a good
once.
one.
All right, yo.
Good evening.
Okay, so we're off here right now. Let's get down to your house.
You don't